Hello guys, how are you? I hope you're having a nice day today. In this video, I want to talk about some things that I found out about the Capital One Discover merger. As you know, Capital One bought out Discover, and last month everything was finalized, and Capital One have now started transferring people's accounts over from Discover over to Capital One side so you can pay your bill. Now during this time, Capital One have been sending emails to all of Discover customers to let them know about the things that was not going to change with Discover, the perks that wasn't going to change with Discover after it transferred over. But what it didn't include in the email is what would change with the perks with Discover. Now, I'm going to get back into that a little bit later. I want to mention this part first. A lot of you may get confused about logging in to your Capital One accounts. Many people, including myself and my husband, we have Capital One and Discover cards. And so they tell you to download the app and install the app on your phone, and you have to log into Discover and then follow the prompts, and it will convert you over to your account completely over to Capital One. Now, me personally, I would not suggest downloading the app to your phone unless you have went directly to the website, to Discover website, to set up your account, your new account with Capital One, because there are things that you could miss using the app. The setup is different with going into what you're looking for and what you need to accomplish on the website. So I would definitely suggest that before you download and install the app, to do it on a computer, a widescreen or laptop, so that you can see everything that's going on there and be able to investigate everything and not miss anything. If you have money, if you have your payments automatically coming out of your account on Discover side, that's one of the things that they do not mention that have changed. That doesn't transfer over. You have to actually go to Capital One and set up new automatic payments to come out of your checking or savings account. So be aware of that, and also check back to make sure that everything went through, because I think with the merger there is still some things that needs to be figured out to make sure that the website is working exactly the way it should work when you choose different options. Now, if you have a Discover card account and you have a Capital One account separately, there may be an option once you're signing up for converting your Discover account over to Capital One side. There may be an option for you to link your accounts. Link so that you can access both accounts on the same site. Don't do that, guys. Don't do that. Now, your Discover login information is one of the things that transferred over. Now, you're going to have the same web address, which is Capital One, and that is for your Discover Discover, to pay your Discover card bill and to pay your Capital One bill. So keep that separate, guys. It makes it a lot easier to keep up with the payments that you are making on both cards. Even though Capital One is furnishing both for Discover and for Capital One. Keep everything separate. Use your login for your Discover, even though you're going to use the same web address. Use your login for your Discover card as it is to pay your Discover card bill, and then use your Capital One login to pay your Capital One bill. Trust me when I say this, you will appreciate it later, because with the new merger, Capital One, trust me when I tell you this as well, do not have everything figured out. So just to make sure that you are getting credit for paying both bills, if you owe 2 bills, keep it separate. Keep your login information separate. Now, getting back to the email that tells you, the Capital One email that tells you what's staying the same on Discover side, but not telling you what's changing on Discover side. Discover had one perk that people really appreciated, and that was balance transfers. Now that Capital One has taken that over, they don't offer balance transfers. Also, Discover had an option where you can request a larger credit limit. Capital One do not offer that. So for any of you guys that that requested a credit limit increase and received that before the merger was finalized, kudos to you guys. Anybody that requested a balance transfer and had it approved before the merger finalized, kudos to you guys too. But let me explain to you something about the balance transfer. Capital One do not honor, listen to what I'm telling you, Capital One do not honor any balance transfers that is coming through Discover when it was an independent credit card company. Now, when you receive your first bill, you're going to see the balance transfer on your first bill. You're going to also see the fee that was charged for the amount of the balance transfer. Now, on Discover side, it's supposed to be, you pay that one fee, which is a 3 or 4% for the balance transfer, and then you have 0 APR for whatever the terms of the balance transfer is for, either 10 months or 12 months. But since Capital One is not honoring the balance transfers that transferred over with Discover and their customers, Capital One is also charging an interest. It's charging interest on that, on the amount that's owed. So don't be surprised if you look at your first bill, you see your balance transfer on there, you see the fee you paid for the balance transfer, and underneath it you see interest that Capital One is charging for that. So yes, guys, you could be, maybe, I know I am paying 2 different fees. So the best thing to do with that, if you come across that, the best thing to do is pay that credit Capital One card off that's handling Discover payments, your Discover payments. Pay that off as soon as possible. It is not fair, but that is one of the things that did not transfer over or stay the same with Discover transferring over to Capital One. Capital One is not honoring the balance transfers. Make sure when you go through the process of switching over from Discover to Capital One, once you log in to your Discover account, It's going to prompt you, and you just follow the prompts and do what's needed on Capital One side. Make sure you hit all the arrows to bring the information down so that you can get whatever you want as far as actions. Like I said, automatic payments coming out of your checking or savings account, automatic payments, credit wise, alerts, and you have to do all that stuff over on Capital One side, because that stuff does not transfer from Discover. The only thing transfers from Discover is the amount you owe and you earning cash back. So that's the only thing that transfer over. Everything else does not transfer over, and you guys need to know that. And I think it's a shame that when Capital One was sending out these different emails, that they did not include what was not going to transfer over and give customers warnings on what they need to do. Because calling customer service is on Capital One side. They only know about Capital One side. They don't know everything that entails with Discover transferring over, as far as what will transfer over with the account. So don't trust that, guys. Don't trust that. Look into it for yourself by going to the website and finding the things you need to help keep your account safe and help keep it going, as far as paying a credit card bill down and everything. Do not call the not cashiers, I'm sorry guys. Do not call the representatives right now to ask them any questions about Capital One and Discover, because they'll tell you what they think it should be, and they're not always right. And since the merger is still new, 9 times out of 10 they're not going to be right, only because it's a new merger and Capital One is still making steps to settle everything and have everything as a whole. Now, I don't know if you have a Discover card or and a Capital One card, if eventually it's going to merge into one account where you will have your credit limit for Capital One plus your credit limit for Discover to merge together and just have one credit limit. I don't know if that's going to happen. It probably will. Hopefully in the future that would make things less confusing than having to juggle 2 accounts from the same website that's concerning an entity that have a totally different name. But like I said, guys, do all of your setup on a bigger screen, a computer or a laptop. Do not do it through the phone app, because you could miss something very important that you need to check off. So do it on the website first. That way you can have access to everything you need, and then afterwards, then you can download it to your phone and do things the way you normally do it. Alright guys, that is all for now with this video. I hope the information that I gave you in this video, I hope that it is very helpful, give you a little bit more understanding. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share. If you have a balance transfer that came with you to Capital One side from Discover side, and you received your first bill and noticed that even with the transaction fee from the balance transfer is on the bill, that you also see interest charges on there, please leave it in the comment section below. I don't think it's fair that you have to pay twice Unless Capital One is going to change that, you'll be paying twice every month until that bill is paid completely off. But like I said, let's work together to live better. And always, always, thank you for watching.